The orb's over there. It's cold out. It's wet out. Yes, I said it's wet out. It is a very heavy dew again, which is, typical. Usually typical more for earlier in June, but we get it through July too. 48 degrees this morning, so it just feels wonderful. Get us used to some hotter weather and then freezes. Yeah. Should have started this video at the other end of the back barn, showing off my new skid steer tires. They're an off-brand. I don't care. I did actually see the off-brand online, and I don't know if it was the same tire or not, but a skid steer tire for like $230 or $220, something like that. We paid $4.25 for 4 of them, so. But here's a $60 set. Wheels are worth way more than that. Like a typical dual. Scratched up, scuffed up. Run it against something. I know how it goes. Seen it, done it, been there. They're not in too bad a shape. That don't bother me because I don't plan on pulling real heavy. If it was going to go on to 3394, it'd be different. Nice offset, which will work to my advantage because if I put these on the Big Massey, that offset's going to help a lot. I won't have to make something to bolt onto the wheel on there that's going to stick way out. So that'll make it nice. And sounds like I might have a couple loads of dirt to fill in some ruts out there in that little 3-corner piece instead of having to dig the ruts out and smooth it up. I was going to show you, I think that's him right there yawning. Yep, that is him. I walked by here, he was in the creep feeder. He doesn't look as big, not in the creep feeder. But in the creep feeder, he's just almost as tall as the side panel. And yes, I know it was him because it had a sheath, hair hanging, and nice and dark. And the one over there, a little higher, that's one of those yearling heifers. But he was kitty corner from her. Anyway, let's see what the day brings before it gets 90 or 100 degrees, whatever it's going to be. The dang heater was even on in the trailer this morning. Been living the door open and the windows open, and heater hasn't come on. I suppose I could unzoom you there. That'd be nicer. It doesn't shake as much, right? Couldn't figure out what I was hearing when I woke up. Like, what the? Huh? And the wind had blown the door shut. We didn't hook it open. So the wind blew the door shut at some point, so it was just a big window open, and the heater was on. I turned the heater off. Becky can freeze her butt off before she gets up. Oh, yeah. And the guy we bail for, he's going to cut today. And that tractor's still hooked up right there. Still has the duals on it and doesn't have a baler on it. And I just realized I didn't get a hold of Tom yesterday about bearings. He should have had them yesterday. At the same token, he didn't call me to tell me he had them, which he usually forgets to call. And I usually remember the next day. Well, he won't answer his phone till Monday, so I got to remember to do it Monday. Anyway, there's almost 5 minutes of your day. Hope you had a good day. Hope we have a good day. More orb. When you get the chance to look at parts. Ray asked about it. Michigan hay. This is what we put above this. The try to keep stuff out. Clamped onto the neck on the cast piece on the bottom of the gearbox. This joint turns this way, not the other. Well, there. That's all the farther it'll go that way. This one turns that far that way. The other one does not turn at all. That is completely packed. That is packed full to right there.
And that's not even what the other end looks like.
And the other mating half that's kind of the same way, it's still packed. She's got to dig that out yet. What I was just looking at, we know this U-joint is scotched. So this U-joint is cocked this way. This U-joint is the same way. It's cocked. But I was looking at the H-piece. Here is a straight plane with the edge of it here. It is twisted. That's about a season and a half old.
I point out I was right.
She was right. She was right. She says this was what was probably making her noise.
That's what was making a noise.
I'm going to agree. Then my phone rings. Say hi, Ty.
Hi, Ty.
She's being a disc mower mechanic today.
I hate that goddamn thing. And that's being nice, by the way.
And I'm playing in the dirt. Catch you up on the disc mower. Thank you, Ray. Michigan Hay. I did look at disc mower doctor. We've got the new drive line coming from them. It's going to be for 5-7 days, whatever. UPS ground. $23 is a lot better than giving them $200 to ship it, especially for a $265 or $285 part. And called the local dealer, and they tried to say $500 and then tried to say that it was unavailable. Well, I don't know about that. I found it. I mean, the internet's a wonderful thing. I mean, Messick's, but I don't want to have to order for airpay shipping either, especially when they're $360, and it's going to be at least $50 to ship it. If this would focus where I want it to, and not on. If there we go. Those girls were all hiding over there in the trees earlier. They finally came out, and by 12:30 we were 95 degrees. It's 2 o'clock now. The only good thing is the humidity's gone down and there's a breeze.
Okay, but at least you were in the basement last night where Grandma had the fucking heat on.
Yeah, she's got to complain about that. But anyway, Maury told me he had some dirt. Man, that looks a lot better than that big hole and wet spot and ruts. And I'm just going to keep pushing that one, filling ruts in up there.
I was going to say the rest of the ruts.
And I'm going to go as far as it'll go. I hate to cover this much grass up, but hey, if we get some rain or something, it'll grow through it.
I ain't holding my breath on any more rain.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, his number one driver, Kyle, he's working today. He's going to bring me one more load anyway, probably in about an hour or so. So I got to get this one spread out. Packed in pretty good. I never even packed it. I just back scraped it with the bucket till I got her as smooth as it is, and he didn't sink much for the full load, so I'm good with that. It'll be good when we're here. Remember, I got however many semi-loads of bales to bring through here, and it's actually going to be almost a normal year, so it'll be quite a few loads. But anyway, that's what's happening. I'm doing this, and she's draining the cutter bar oil. She complains about everything. Jesus Christ.
One of those days, I'm allowed to complain.
What would she have done when I was her age? I mean, God, we did good to get $2.50 an hour. Oh, anyway, there's your update at the moment. I'll bring you back, show you something. Well, that's this project for the most part. Ruts are gone. Hole right in front of me is gone. There's 2.5 loads straight ahead of me. Believe it or not. Can't even hardly tell it. And going up that draw, I filled the ruts in, and up above, you can't see it from here because it's a little hump in the way, but there's over half a load going up that draw and then filling the ruts up above in the gate. Could even use a little more up there. And it sounds like he's got one more load coming. But at some point, I got to do something with that tank trap over there. Get a culvert run through there and run a drain tile over to that spring in the side hill. That spring died out 20 years ago, so we never put a drain tile in there, but we talked about it. I think we're going to have to do it. And since I've got a ditch from the spring all the way out, I got to have something to fill it back in with. So I'm just going to have him dump it down here. Worry about it later. Put it where it's out of my way and call it good. Maybe we'll see how Ty's doing on the mower. She's happy. I asked her to close gates. Well, I got 3 loads of dirt spread around. Kyle just left after dumping the one I'm going to leave down there. And Ty just got done getting oil changed in the cutter bar boxes. She just says, I don't have it in me to get stuff cleaned up and put back together. I don't either. It was 95 about 4 hours ago. It's time to find some air conditioning. Anyway, here's what it is. Waiting to go together. We can put everything together except for this end. Can't put the end, well, we can set the end turtle on, but you can't do anything else. Because the drive line goes inside this piece and bolts down with the turtle. And I think what I'm going to try to do is, I think a little worn, just a wee bit. I think I'm going to make a piece to bolt on here to come on up and see if we can keep the damn shit from wrapping in around the drive line. It's going to make more of a pain in the ass maybe for greasing the drive line, but I think I can figure out how to make it work one way or the other. I just got to have time to do it. Maury's baling hay, and Kyle and I were talking, and I know we still got some wet slugs up there, but we got to get the big baler hooked up and ready and serviced. And I was really hoping to get some new tires on the V-rake and do something to get the one side up in the air, because the basket mounts, the pivot to raise and lower, that one's twisted. We can't get it high enough off the ground. And I can't see any other way to fix it other than to cut the whole piece out and start over. That's not a fun job. Not something I'm going to do this time of year unless I have to. Although I think I figured I can block underneath the mount and then just readjust and keep it from digging, because we busted a bunch of teeth off last year because we couldn't get the back high enough on the right side. But anyway, obviously we're not going to cut any hay for a bit. Maybe do a little more looking on this thing. I did tighten the roller tension down. I tightened it down a long ways. We're going to try that before we move the stops on the rollers. Since I believe it was Pine Sedge suggested, just tighten her down and see what happens. And yeah, that saves a bunch of BS. So we're going to do that. And we'll unhooked it. Kind of had a little concern about that CV joint up there, because I pulled into the second field up there. I was cranked hard left, like the tire almost touching where the marks are there. And instead of being just momentary, I was sitting there because time come around the front of the mower when I was ready to go, and I couldn't. So I'm not sure if it got something warm in the joint or it just got the plastic hot, because maybe the plastic was bound up and couldn't turn. I don't know. But it seems to be okay, so I'm good with that. Damn drive lines are too new to screw them up anyway. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay cool. And have a good Sunday.